Uh, Jai Hind, this is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan, and today we will carry out another scan of important events that have taken place inside India and around India, which has an effect on India's national security. These are in the fields of internal security, external security, and various other important events taking place all over the world. So let us start by looking at them one after another. The first one pertains to Taiwan. Taiwan has found out that the Chinese are trying to infiltrate into their system. So therefore, they have boosted their counter-espionage effort so that all the suspected Chinese agents who have infiltrated into the various organs of the Taiwanese government are weeded out. The next issue pertains to China using US dollar as a weaponization. What is known is that China is trying to project its currency yuan as an international currency. It wants to compete with the dollar. However, the dollar is today still so strong that Chinese are not able to compete with it. And also, Chinese have uh, themselves gathered a large amount of dollars. So therefore, the interlinkages between dollars and yuan is so complex that it is not going to be easy to replace dollar from the international market in a short while. But maybe over a longer period, some improvement will be possible. The next issue is USA is going to give military aid worth $345 million, which should be in terms of arms, to Taiwan to boost up their defenses. Obviously, this has angered China, who says this should not be done. And the USA is expediting this arms aid to Taiwan because they want these arms to reach Taiwan as early as possible. The next issue pertains to the Chinese Coast Guard, which was dominating the waters in the South China Sea. Now, China has decided that it will send its ships of Coast Guard to patrol the northern Pacific. Now, this is quite far away from China, which means China wants to now increase the range of its navy, and they are going to start interfering into fishing by various countries in the international water. This is a big threat as far as the whole world is concerned, especially the country in Indo-Pacific. The next issue is the Chinese want to revive its Belt and Road Forum. So therefore, they had decided that they will hold a big meeting in which the progress of the BRI projects, especially in Europe, will be reviewed. However, not even one European country wants to join this because they have realized that the Chinese aid is not of much help. The Belt and Road project only benefits China, it does not benefit the European countries. Next is the United States has stopped a leader from Hong Kong into attending a world meeting because this person who was supposed to attend a meeting called Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation is supposed to be a person who is the Chinese proxy, and he's taken tough actions against the pro-democracy protests. The US Senate has targeted China, and it doesn't want China to buy farmland in the United States because the Chinese wanted to buy farmland there because China is always short of food. China area is mountainous. There are a lot of deserts are there. So therefore, it is not easy for the Chinese to grow the food that it wants. So therefore, it is busy purchasing farmlands in Africa, in America, and in several African, Asian, and American countries. But now USA has decided that it will not permit the Chinese to buy a farmland in the United States. The next issue pertains to a review or a survey which was done by the United States in which they tried to find out the opinion of average Americans. Average Americans feel that China is one of the biggest threats as far as the USA is concerned. 50% of the USA people feel it like that. The Chinese President Xi Jinping has told his armed forces that they should increase the speed of their modernization and be ready for a struggle because a, a war with the world over Taiwan is definitely likely in near future. The next point pertains to the German armed forces. German armed forces have decided that they will raise one new division so that their force level improves. After the Ukraine war started, the NATO countries realized that they, as a whole, NATO countries as a whole of Europe, they could not even raise one division to fight a war with Russia or any other enemical country. So therefore, Germany has now decided that it will raise a division on its own. However, the biggest problem which the Germany is facing right now is that there are not enough troops, enough recruits available who are willing to join the armed forces, meaning German army is not getting the recruits that it wants. So what do they do? There is very little they can do, but one of the ways by which India can help them is that we can tell them that our Agniveer and other soldiers who retire from the Indian army can possibly join not only Germany but the other European countries, all of whom are short of manpower. The next issue pertains to a meeting that is going to take place in Moscow with respect to Afghanistan. Now, this is going to be an important meeting in which India has been called, and India should improve its influence in Afghanistan because Afghanistan, as it stands today, has now gone against Pakistan. Now, Russia has said that the Black Sea Great Deal, which had been done, which now has been broken, will be will be allowed to return to the accord if Ukrainians do not stop the Russian grains. What we must understand is Russia and Ukraine today contribute a lot towards the food security of the entire world. But now Russia and Ukraine are busy targeting each other's ships which are carrying out grains out of Black Sea. But now the Russians have said that should the Ukrainians and the Western world allow their trade of food grains, then they will let the Ukrainian ships also go and carry out trade in the other parts of the world. Now, next issue has been a very important development that took place in the PLA rocket forces. They have removed the previous chief. The reasons are for that are not known at all, but it is felt that Xi Jinping does not want anybody who is not personally loyal to him because he feels the kind of a threat that Putin faced from Wagner, the Wagner private army chief, that kind of a threat he will face. So therefore, he wants to ensure that all in all the positions around him, especially the ones pertaining to the military, people who are commanding various military formations are personally loyal to him. The next issue is China is using the Uyghur families uh, uh, inside China to control the behavior of Uyghurs who are settled out in Europe or other parts of the world. The Uyghurs are very unhappy with this kind of a deal simply because the human rights of Uyghurs are being violated very regularly by the Chinese. So a lot of Uyghurs have run away from from China, China's province of Xinjiang, and they are settled in various parts of Europe and America. But even there, they cannot carry out their actions freely because China has put pressure on them by troubling the family members of these Uyghurs who have migrated to Europe or America. They are told that should you carry out any anti Chinese government action. In that case, the, the Chinese will trouble the families of the Uyghur Muslims who are still inside China, inside Xinjiang. So it's kind of a blackmail which the Chinese are doing, by which they ensure that Uyghurs outside do not create too much of a problem for them, and their family are held hostage, who will be who will be troubled should their relations outside create a problem. The Italy has decided not to join China's Belt and Road project, and they said their earlier decision to join the project was a wrong one. It was an atrocious decision. USA is hunting for a Chinese malware which could disrupt American military operations. They feel that the cyber threat from China is real. The Chinese government has told its citizens that as far as intelligence is concerned, as far as counter espionage is concerned, every Chinese citizen must join the counter espionage work so that the entire nation is busy, will be busy collecting intelligence with respect to the enemies of China. Now, this is a real good expansion of intelligence system, and this kind of an intelligence system has never been used by anybody before. The European Union has decided to improve maritime security with Philippines, which is actually a good news. Another good news is that in J&K Baramulla, two hybrid terrorists have been caught by the army. It was based on an actionable intelligence. The anti-terrorism squad of Gujarat has caught three people from Rajkot who were involved in supporting the Al Qaeda operations, the Jamaat ul Mujahid Bangladeshi operations inside India. The Indian Army has decided for a new common uniform for brigadiers and above, and this is now the officers have already started wearing it. One Indian Army Jawan who went missing from his house uh, where they had come on leave has now been found and he is safe. Initially, it was thought that possibly the terrorists have kidnapped him. Now, next is about the Indian Navy ship, which is in the Pacific Ocean now, and it is presently docked in the Papua New Guinea area, where it is carrying out contact program, contact operations with Papua Guinea. Now, this is basically a challenge as far as Chinese are concerned. The next issue pertains to the technological war. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has said that India can become a world semiconductor hub of the entire world. He was talking at a seminar which was taking place in Gandhi Nagar. The next issue is that Apple supplier Foxconn has planned to put 500 million component plant in India. This is a good news so that the market of phones will improve in India. The Apple company is wanting to put up very big factories inside India, and it is said that over a period of time, 20% of the iPhones in India, 20% of the iPhones manufactured in the world will be produced in India. Uh, Japan is also thinking of using the Indian coming to India and producing chips, etc. As far as economic war is concerned, there are retirement funds in America who are invested in the Chinese investment. Now, the Americans have decided that no American fund will invest in any Chinese security. As far as Berlin is concerned, as far as Germany is concerned, while on one hand it wants to increase its strength in NATO, on second hand it doesn't want to get too tough with it because it has got caught into a Chinese Chakravyuha. So, as far as BRICS is concerned, some people want, it was thought that BRIC will become a kind of a counterweight to the Western bloc as far as the world is concerned. But Brig, which consists of Brazil, Russia, India, and China, are not talking in one language. China and Russia want to expand. India is presently not willing. So basically, Brig is not be able to turn into a platform which can be termed as anti-Western. The Tesla of USA is likely to set up its shop inside India in a short while, and it will manufacture electric vehicles here. The Ukraine war is still continuing, and a lot of lessons are being drawn. But one lesson is, which is for actually for China, that achieving complete military victory is not possible. Secondly, the logistic stamina is equally important because while you may have weapons, but the ammunition will finish. Third is recruitment to the armed forces is a big problem as far as the developed countries are concerned. And the last point with respect to today is that almost a missile war or a drone war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. Russia is targeting certain targets inside Ukraine with the help of drones, and something similar is done by Ukraine, who's targeting Russian targets deep inside Russia, including Russia's capital, Kremlin, etc. So therefore, as far as the Ukraine war is concerned, it is going to get more and more complicated, and presently no peace seems to be around the corner. I'll stop here. Thank you and Jai Hind.